to my channel, Cook from the Past. I am Catherine, and I am very happy to have you here in my kitchen today. I am going to expand upon a video that, well, I think it was the last one that I posted, and that was my mother's recipe box. And this is the box that I am talking about. This was my mother's recipe box, and it was in our home when I was a child, and as far back as I can remember. And so I was very happy to receive this when she passed away. And I just love this box. It's got all the little tabs in there, even some ones that you don't find in recipe boxes anymore. So I'm going to be using a recipe today out of this box, and I'm going to be making lemon cups. And you can see by the look of this card that this was a well-used and well-loved recipe in my house when I was a kid. And so I'm going to go ahead and make this for you today. And I am going to make it the same way that it would have been made when I was a kid in our home. We did not have an electric mixer until kind of later on in time. And so I'm going to be using the old-fashioned egg beaters to beat the eggs for this recipe. So I'm going to start by showing you the equipment I'm going to be needing to use to prepare this recipe. And there's probably going to be a technique that you've never tried before, but it's really very easy. And also very few ingredients are going to be necessary for this recipe. And they are lemons, of course. I'm making lemon cups, milk, sugar, some grated lemon zest and lemon juice from the lemons, right? And yeah, that's it. Eggs, milk, lemons, some sugar, some, well, what's called salad oil. I'm going to be using probably melted coconut oil, and a little bit of flour and some sugar, and that's it. So let's get to cooking. For this recipe, I'm going to be needing some mixing bowls. I've got a medium, one a little smaller, and then a very small one, and this is just going to be for the egg yolks. I'm going to need a measuring cup, 2-cup measuring cup. I'm going to need a zester to get the lemon peel. I'm going to need teaspoons, measuring spoons rather. I'm going to need a lemon squeezer, and I just love this. I have had this since the mid-60s, and I'm thinking my sister brought this home to me when she went traveling in Europe. So I've had this a long time, and I absolutely love it. I don't think you can get it anywhere now. And I'm going to need 6 of these type little baking dishes. And of course, I've already introduced you to my egg beaters. And this is it's really a roasting pan without the little roasting trivet, if that's what you want to call it, on it. And the process for cooking these lemon cups is going to be water bath. And so there's going to be water in here. And these cups will be filled with the lemon cups batter. And I will be placing all 6 into this roasting pan. And that's how they're going to cook in a water bath. And I'll explain more about that as we do it. If you don't have a grater such as this, a box grater, any other kind of grater will do with you need very fine grate on this. You can also use a zester, but the pieces of lemon are going to be much bigger. And if that's all you have, then that's all you have. But this would be preferred, and you can even pick these up very inexpensively in thrift stores. So something for sure is going to be needed to do your lemon zesting. And I already introduced you to this fine article as well. But if you don't have anything where you can juice your lemons, you can get those, they're like a dish that you put your lemon on and put some pressure and go back and forth, and you can juice that way. Or you can use one of these. You can usually pick these up in pretty much any well-stocked grocery store now. So any of these implements can be used. And here's our ingredient lineup. 3 lemons and 3 eggs, and these need to be at room temperature. We're going to need a dash of salt, a 1/4 cup of flour, some sugar, about a cup and a half, I actually use a cup and 3/4 of milk, and some kind of oil. Now out here I do have some grapeseed oil. I've also got coconut oil. I may end up melting that and using that, but whatever oil you use, it does need to be something with a very mild flavor. I have in the past used extra virgin olive oil, and there weren't any bad effects from it, but really you just want to use something that is very mild in flavor. The first thing I'm going to do is just to get some of the preliminary stuff going is I'm going to scald my milk. I have a feeling that when this recipe was written, milk was not as ultra pasteurized as it is now, but it is just 1.5, a little bit more than 1.5 cups. So that is what I will use. Generally, when I make this, and I do continue to make this, I will use 1 3/4. And well, that's just about what that is. So very excellent. It will work even though it's a little bit more. So what I was saying is I think now that milk is ultra pasteurized, it doesn't need to be scalded, but I'm going to go ahead and do that anyway. That will be my very first step. And since I'm going to be using coconut oil, I'm going to go ahead and melt this as well. I have washed my 3 lemons, and I am going to be grating the zest and juicing them. I will be wanting 2 teaspoons of grated lemon peel, so I'm just going to go ahead and grate them into this bowl because that's where I know they're going to end up anyway. So I will check back with you as soon as I have 2 teaspoons of lemon zest or lemon peel. All right, I've got all of the zest, grated lemon peel that I will be needing. It's about 2 teaspoons worth. And next I'm going to be getting the juice from these lemons. And I'll pretty much need the juice from all of them. I'm going to adjust the camera because you can't quite see everything I'm doing here. I think that's probably better. That might do it. All right. And this is that nifty little thing that my sister gave me. I'm trying to see the name on it. Yeah, it's made in Italy. So, yep, this was a nice piece, and I've had it a very long time, and it has served me well. Just dropped that one. I'll go back for it in a minute. Pretty much just put that on there, put the top on it, and push down and go back and forth to get the juice out. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up, pick up the one that I got off of have on the floor right now, wash it, and we will continue on. I've got my lemon juice done, and there it is. The recipe calls for 1/3 cup of lemon juice, and that's probably a little more, but I'm going to use it all. It won't cause any problem whatsoever with this recipe. My next task is to separate the eggs. So I'm just going to very carefully crack it on the side. And I'm going to be putting the egg whites in the green bowl here. And go back and forth between the halves of the eggshell a couple of times to get the white separated from the yolk. There we go. Just one little word of caution. If you have farm fresh eggs, you may want, and these are, you may want to empty each egg into a separate bowl first before putting them all in here, just in case there's something funky with your egg. I've had it happen, but I am kind of tossing caution to the wind here today in not doing that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set the egg yolk, I broke one of them, and the egg whites to the side for now. And I will bring back the bowl that I'll be using for mixing it all up together. So I am going to need 1 cup of sugar. All right, this is a 1/2 cup measure. And the next thing I will be adding is 1/4 cup of flour. This is a 1/4 cup. Okay, these are done. I'm just going to kind of mix it all up together. I've got, in this bowl, I've got the lemon, the grated lemon, the sugar, and the flour. And I mix them all up as well as I can. And I want to get everything as incorporated as possible. I want to make sure there's no lumps of the lemon peel in here. I want it pretty much dispersed throughout. There's a little bit of a lump. Okay. So that's what you're looking for. The next thing that comes is 2 tablespoons of the oil that I'm using. And that is the melted coconut oil. I'm going to measure it again now that it's melted just to make sure that I don't have too much. Oh, that was a pretty accurate measurement. When it's solid, sometimes it's a little different when you get it melted. Let me mix that up. I don't want any big clumps of the oil. I want it all pretty much granular. So when everything goes together, there's no lumps of any kind. All right, I think that will work. There you go. All right, I'm going to be setting that aside again. Move it back here. So now back to my egg yolks and my scalded milk. I'm just going to take a fork and mix them all together. The milk is no longer hot. It had a chance to cool down. I'm going to try to get all this eggy goodness out of here. Okay. Yeah, some kind of bug just flew by. All right, mix these together. All right. Next thing is the lemon juice. Be careful I don't have any little pips that end up in there too. No, this one's pretty good. Sometimes you get these tiny little pips in there. And again, mix it up. All right, well, I'm waiting for that sugar to kind of dissolve a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and get the oven set to 325 degrees. And I'm going to get these glass dishes ready. So this is the roasting pan I'm going to be using. Just put maybe an inch at the very most of water in here, put it in the oven, and it will start heating up as the oven is heating. All right, the oven is preheating to 325 degrees, and I have put, it actually turned out to be about a ½ inch of water in that pan, so it will be getting hot, as well as the stove. So this is well mixed in. Now we're going to go in with the egg and milk. They actually called for a dash of salt, and I'm just going to put that in right now, just a little bit. I could have put those in with the dry ingredients, but I didn't. And if you miss it entirely, you'll probably never know. So I am wanting to mix this so that it's fully incorporated, the milk, the egg, the sugar and flour mixture, and the lemon. Got a little bit of piece of egg white in there and just took that out. You know, it's that little hard white sort of string cord that's you find in every egg. Sometimes they can be tough, and it would be great having it in here. So I took it out. All right, that is well mixed. Now I'm going to set that aside. I'm starting to get a collection of dishes here. Remove some. All right, now I get to beat the eggs. Here goes. I haven't used anything like this for a long time. I'll be back when they are stiff peaks. That's what you want right there. Let me get this out off the beaters. Get that in the sink real fast. Okay. Our batter for this dessert is almost done. And I'm going to put those beaten egg whites into the rest. And what I'm wanting to do is just fold the egg whites into the batter. I am not going to beat it. If you beat it, it will flatten all of your egg whites, and the dessert will end up quite different than the intended product. So you just kind of fold. This is called folding it in. You don't have to worry about if it looks like there's a few lumps in the egg white. It's of no consequence whatsoever. So this dessert will be a cake-like consistency on the top and the most delicious lemon sauce you ever tasted on the bottom. So I'm going to prepare my cups, get a ladle, and we'll finish it up before putting it in the oven. All right. Ready to get this going. This will make 6 of these. I don't know how many ounces they are. little baking dishes. They might hold 3/4 of a cup, I'm thinking. So as you're putting it in, just make sure you're getting some of the sauce from below and some of the egg white mixture. Kind of mix it a little bit as you go too, just to kind of keep it from separating too much. Well, this might only make 5 this time for whatever reason. Maybe I just filled them all a little bit more, but there's definitely not enough in there for one more. So I am just going to divide this amongst the 5 bowls we've already got. These will puff up a little bit when they're baking, but it's not something that's gonna overflow the dish. Okay, I'm going to get these in the oven and show you before I close the door. Okay, I am going to get these into the oven. It's weird, this is the first time I've only gotten 5, and I can't really explain why that is, but that's what we got today. Maybe the eggs were a little smaller. But I usually get 6 of this size of dish. All right. Water's in here. It's already starting to steam. And in they go very carefully so you don't splash the water. And I'm going to set the timer for 40 minutes. And it will probably take a little bit more than 40 minutes because I know my oven, but we'll check on it at that time. What you want is a barely starting to brown surface of the lemon cups. You don't want them dark brown. Okay, I have baked this for 45 minutes. I checked 40 minutes into it and there wasn't any sign of browning. Turn that off. And so I gave it another 5, and we're getting some nice browning on there. So I am going to try and pull this out of the oven without spilling the water. A little bit of it has evaporated, so that's what they're going to look like. Okay, I'm going to take these very carefully out of the water bath and set them out. They're going to need to cool a little bit, but these are very good whether it's hot, cold, room temperature. It's good any way you can get it. So after these have had a chance to cool down, I think the cook needs to try this odd one here so that when it comes dinner time and there's only 2 of us, some for tonight, some for tomorrow night, and the cook gets the extra, like right now. He'll never know. Well, friends, dinner is done and we get to dive into our lemon cups. There we go. I don't know if you can see that there's cake as well as the sauce. If I hold it up like this, you can probably see. Always absolutely delicious. And I do taste the coconut oil. I've never used the coconut oil in this before. There's a little bit of a taste in it. If that's something that you don't like, then use another oil with a low flavor. But to me, this is really good. So thank you for viewing. And if you enjoyed this video and would like to see some more of what I do, please subscribe and be sure to hit that thumbs up button to like it.